Now that we've had some time with Fortnite's Chapter 5 Season 2, it's fair to ask, do we forgive Epic for their botched launch? Well, now that I've experienced enough of the highs and the lows, it's time to talk about it. The highs, like getting the Zeus Mythic for the first time and just taking someone out instantly. Or the lows, like getting taken out instantly by someone who picked up the Zeus Mythic for the first time.
And I quit.
Or the highs, like getting the wings for the very first time and just floating around the map, going up as high as you can. That's actually an amazing vibe. Or the lows, trying to fly away and getting caught in the corner of a room and then just getting shot. Or the super lows and knowing that you can still die to the Reaper sniper rifle and the Frenzy auto shotty. This is actually a reality still.
What?
One of the best parts about this season though are the POIs hands down. Mount Olympus, Grimgate, Underworld, Brawlers Battlegrounds, all these places actually make it feel like the map is brand new. It's actually very impressive how much work they put into these new POIs. That massive statue that's covered in clouds, that type of stuff just really immerses you so much into the map. That's what used to make Fortnite so great, those little details. When developers tend to take more pride in their work, they tend to put more details in their map and the things that they create, and that means we buy into it even much more so. It makes the experience that much better, and I think that's what really makes this season stand out so far compared to last especially. Last season was great, they introduced a whole new chapter and all kinds of new modes, but the Battle Royale itself, it felt a little neglected, it felt a little bland.
What is this?
And I know most chapters start off very simple and vanilla so they can slowly add more things and make it more complicated. They want to replicate how chapter 1 went. I get it. But one thing you have to be careful about is how far back you go back.
At precisely 88 miles an hour!
If you give people a very complicated, complex, fun game and then try and simplify it every time, it may just not work, and that's why they typically ramp it up very quickly into Season 2. And the reality is, nothing that's number 1 stays number 1 forever. Anything great falters at some point, and what makes it great again is learning why it faltered and becoming great again. And there's no doubt Fortnite can be great again. And right now, Fortnite is actually going through one of the biggest cosmetic and foundational changes that any game has gone through in history. Think about where this game started off in 2017 with Save the World and their basic little battle royale, 2 POIs, into this massive metaverse with Fortnite Festival, rocket racing, Legoland, and the coming Disney mode that's supposed to rival the likes of World of Warcraft and League of Legends. This game is going to have everything, and we haven't even touched on the fact that there's sports modes coming. Yes, you're gonna be able to play games that rival Madden and 2K and FIFA within Fortnite. Their goal is to put literally everything within their game so you never have to leave. It's amazing, but also terrifying at the same time. It means no competition. We won't get into what happens when games become the only game in that realm. See Madden. And I get it. There's no way Fortnite's going to stay at the top. So they're doing what they can to change their resources up and do something new. Create something bigger and better that will keep people around. But at the same time, the reality is when you take resources and bandwidth away from what makes everyone come to your game to begin with, Battle Royale, that's going to start to suffer. And then the people coming to play your game is going to suffer as well. There's no denying Fortnite is a Battle Royale game through and through. There's no denying Fortnite is a Battle Royale game at its core. As much as they want it not to be, it is what it is. And that's why it's so important that this season was a banger. It's quite obvious that they really tried. You can see the effort, the passion all across the map with all the updates, with the medallions, everything that's new. It seems like they really wanted to put something out there that people would appreciate. I'm kind of getting Chapter 4, Season 4 vibes, where Marvel unleashed one of the greatest seasons we've ever had. Stark Island, that was amazing. There's no way to talk about this new season without addressing the Zeus Mythic. As I said before, the Zeus Mythic is one of the most fun weapons when you pick it up, but also the most infuriating thing when you die to it. Some of my favorite streamers today died countless times in a row to this weapon to people that probably had no chance to get near them. But when you can just click this Zeus weapon in a certain direction in a certain area and it takes out that person, no matter what they're behind, no matter how many builds, they're all gonna die. Can you imagine what this thing is gonna do at the end of FNCS? When there's 40, 50 people all bunched together and someone just goes, I don't know if that's the sound it makes, but you get my point. A lot of people are going back to lobby very infuriated. And this item kind of makes me nervous. This is the thing that's going to make competitive players, our favorite pros, our favorite streamers quit the game because they're so good at the game, they don't want to die to people who can just click a button and beat them.
I quit.
But I get it. This is what developers have to deal with and balance. Bringing in new people to your game and make it easy enough for them to come in. And at the same time, making sure that your current players, the people that are really good at it, don't hate the game because the new people can beat them so easily. It's not easy. If everyone could do it, every single game would stay on top. And this is nothing new. We've known that Fortnite at the beginning of every season puts in this crazy broken item, so we all talk about it, we complain, it goes viral, and they get all this publicity. We know what you're doing, and it works.
I get it.
Unfortunately, they usually come to their senses and change this after a couple weeks. The wings are our new grapplers. These things create a whole new vibe for the game and absolutely make you feel like you're in a different game. The first time I jumped up in the air and just glided around, I felt so calm and so relaxed. This is something I feel like a lot of creative maps could probably get down on. Imagine a map with the Grand Canyon or maybe some amazing mountain pass that you could just fly around and just enjoy. With Fortnite's graphics, that would be such a vibe. But it looks great, but maybe it's not so functionally awesome. There's no doubt that when you take off, slow down, do anything with this thing, you're extremely vulnerable to enemy fire. Your best bet is probably taking shockwaves or a vehicle, but if nothing else is around, just be careful with how you use them. The new weapons are honestly a major W. The new Gatekeeper Shoddy, that thing shoots super fast, but boy does it rip. And with the drum mag on it, that actually might be one of the best shotties in Fortnite history. In builds though, not in zero builds. Get a gray one of these in zero builds and you might be smashing your head through the wall. In zero builds, a lot of these fights come down to mid-range and then they get very close. With this bad boy, with only having 3 rounds in it, if you shoot those 3 rounds before they're super close, they'll do no damage and you have no chance of beating them. So when someone runs up on you with a Thunder and an SMG or the Frenzy, you have absolutely no chance. That's why you have to have the drum mag, especially in zero build. The Huntress DMR, that's gonna be one of those weapons that's very divisive. Those that know how to use it are going to use it and use it well. This thing delivers up to 117 hit points on their head. Do you realize you could take out a trio with just headshots? This thing's reputation will definitely change. Now, this is something I felt like I had to say. I don't know how they didn't put bows in this season. This season is quite literally a historical season where bows existed. This was the perfect opportunity. This one just felt like it was staring them in the face. How did they not get that? Although my friend Cairo did have an idea. He said that maybe they'll introduce bows with Aphrodite, so maybe we'll see. And honestly, rotating out of snipers every couple seasons makes us appreciate it more, so I feel like it's always a good idea when they do. One thing nobody's talking about is the change in sound effects. From the alarms to the hit points to knocking someone, it's all different. I cannot tell you how many times a day I thought I knocked someone and I raced over there and found out that it's just them and their entire team, and then I get knocked. Figure out the new sound effects. It'll really help. It's the little things that really matter. So when they add things like the supply drop back, or the way the bounty boards look, or adding small missions throughout the map, or the missions at the very beginning that you can select now, it's those little things that make the game feel fresh. And I can say I genuinely appreciate those things. And yes, I know I keep saying it, but first person mode, it is coming, and that is going to make this game the most fresh it can get. I'm telling you, there are so many first person players that are just yearning for a new game to play, and they just won't play it because it's a third person game. But when Fortnite goes first person, oh, Call of Duty and Apex, your players, they're all coming, and when they get to experience the community and content that is Fortnite, oh, they're not leaving. You can mark that right here. Overall, I think I have to give this season something around an 8 out of 10. And honestly, if it wasn't for the Zeus Mythic and the Reaper Sniper being back, it'd be something like a 9.2. But the existence of those makes me just tremble with fear about how I'm going to feel about this in about a month. But the details and the vibes surrounding the new POIs and the mythics and the medallions, it's all amazing, and it makes me feel like I'm playing really a brand new season. So, did Fortnite save itself and send itself on a new trajectory? No, unfortunately not. While this season is super awesome, it's not doing anything so new that it's going to bring people back or bring new people into the game. As I said, there's really only one thing left that I feel can really bring Fortnite back to its prime, first person mode. And as always, make sure to hit that subscription, as I really appreciate it and I'm having a lot of fun making these videos. And hit that noti button because we're coming out with the video every single week. And as always, go out there and do something great.